Welcome everybody to Big J's World. My name is Big J. Today we have an author, JC Mackie. So if you want to tell the people who are watching a little bit about yourself and the two books that you have currently out right now.
I'm JC Mackie. I am the author of the 10 Center series. I am indie, stay-at-home mom of two, wife to a towboater with a crazy schedule, and also have a community on TikTok called The Spicy Bunch, and currently doing developmental editing coaching rather. I'm not an editor, but there's a lot of feathers in the hat. I tend to have a lot of things going on at one time, but my current series that is out is the 10 Center series, which is 9 years after, and book 2 that just got released on July 9th, 8 days prior, which is a continuation of book 1. It's an Irish Mafia dark romance. The entire series is going to be 9 books in total, and there's going to be multiple character POVs throughout the series. So really excited about that. Currently writing book 3, and Arnie, my alpha readers, are cussing me out. Because
what did you do?
I made them cry in the prologue. And I was like, I'm sorry. Like, I don't know how to respond because like it's like one of those non-compliment compliments. So I was like, sorry, not sorry. Like I don't know how to respond to that. But I'm really excited about book 3 because we've switched character POVs. The first 2 books are from Maeve and Callum's perspective. Book 1 is very Maeve forward, and book 2 is very Callum forward, which is why the covers are the way they are. So the back, the front of book 1 is Maeve's back, so it's her back tattoo, and then on book 2 we have Callum's chest piece, and so it kind of each book will tell you who's the on the forefront of that book. And whose story you're really getting. Because even though we have both character POVs, one's heavier on their like internal struggle, depending on which one you're in.
Okay. Before we get into where you started with being an author, are you going to live a character?
Oh man.
You don't have to say it.
That scene, just like one of my very first TikTok videos that I posted that was like bookish, was about like I was reading that chapter, and because I have my glasses on you can't really tell, but I'm like crying, and all I did was open up that chapter to read it and started crying, and my husband called me. He's like, what chapter? He's like, what are you reading? Because like he can tell, because obviously he's my husband, so he's gonna see the emotion, like
right.
That, what is that? So he calls me, he's like, I need to look this up. So he looks it up. He's at work. He looks it up and he's reading it, and I'm rereading it, and I start crying again. And he's like, I don't get it. Fast forward 2 years, it's his favorite series now. And he and I both have listened to a song. Tommy Prophet has a song that like fits that scene so well that it just like, it's heart-wrenching, and I'm like, ugh, why did you do this to me? Why'd you show this to me? But he's Fourth Wing is his now favorite series. I still have yet to read Onyx. I soft DNF'd it chapter 14.
Wait, hold on. You what? Huh?
I soft DNF'd it at chapter 14 whenever, like, because I was reading it and I was like, why am I rushing this? And I just like wasn't in the headspace to like consume fantasy. And so I just, as a soft DNF for me is like, I plan on coming back to it. I just like, I needed to give it its fair shot. So I'll start it over and finish. But I'll probably do that whenever our not book 4 comes out. So whatever that title may be, you know.
I'm really irritated. I've read all 3 books. Last one really, I have words to say, but I'll keep those words to myself. But you do need to read the 3rd book. It is.
I know.
It is they leave. Well, they leave the academy finally,
Yeah.
and then there's like one thing after another, after another, after another.
Yeah.
Just read it.
The last thing I remember reading was there was some self-restraint happening. And I was like, oh, this is gonna emotionally screw me up. So I was like, I'm just gonna take a pause right here. I'm gonna come back to this. Also, it wound up coming out while I'm like heavily writing 9 years after. And so it was kind of like this, hold on. I need to put this on pause because I need to work on my book. And so it was just this, ugh. It came in the middle of my writing block too. And so it was a lot of factors that went into the decision to soften up it and come back to it.
So, what song were you thought was best for that scene again?
Let me. I have to pull up my.
And also, you have a great voice to do voice acting.
I get that quite often, actually. And I do plan on doing narration in the future. I just have to wait for both of my children to be in school. So that way my house is quiet enough to do that. Because right now my husband came home yesterday, so they're with him right now. But
go to dad, leave me alone.
They're spending time with dad. Dad's been gone for months, so they're having one-on-one time.
There you
go. Let's see. Tommy TOMME Prophet. And I wanted to say it's in the end. I have a lot of his songs on my thing. Ooh, I did not mean to start playing that. But it should be in the end. The Malin G remix should be that one. But all of Tommy Prophet's songs are very like cinematic, emotional, just like there's a lot of Tommy Prophet songs on the playlist that we have, like that we're kind of accumulating all the songs for the entire Gothic Romantasy series that me and Scotland are writing under our other pen names. And because the scenes that just wound up popping in my head, like whenever I'm listening to Tommy Prophet's stuff, it's like, oh my gosh, I need to write it. Like Mulan's book is going to be devastating. Like I already know it's going to be devastating. Like I know I'm going to cry writing it because it's going to be heavy.
No, don't.
I know.
No, I haven't found a book that had broke me yet. Not yet. I mean, Hunting Airline was on the bridge of like almost get me there, but not quite. So
yeah,
if your book could do that.
I have yet to read the duet. I have read Where's Molly. I loved Where's Molly. My husband's read all of the H.G. Carlton books. He was like a non-reader and then found that he really enjoys like the dark romance. And so he's kind of delved into that a bit. And it's funny because like Taming Seraphine is one of the books that he read and he really enjoyed. And I remember like years ago, and I softy enough Taming Seraphine. I was like, I just was not in the mood for it. I do plan on going back and finishing it, but the scene with the sandwich and her slicing stuff up, I read that out loud to him years ago, and he was like, "What are you reading?" Fast forward, here we are. It's one of his favorite books. So I'm like, you just call me crazy, and then it becomes one of your favorites. I'm just, I don't know. I don't know what else to do.
I understand. Like, I've never been a reader. I just started reading like 2 years ago. With my wife, I've told a story like 1,000 times to authors, and it wasn't until I went to a farmer's market that I picked up Stephen King's Fairy Tale.
Mm-hmm.
loved it. So I blame her for me to get into reading.
Yeah.
She tells me, you don't need any more books. We have more space. I'm like, but do we? You see?
My husband had to build
Build,
me. Yeah. I got all the shelves and then he framed them into the wall so that way that they're attached and
I mean,
stable.
it's a great look for what you have there. It is like
Yeah. I
perfect.
want to say I'm either reaching or have now gone over 700 books, physical copies.
I mean, compared to someone I know on TikTok, I don't know if you follow her. She is Jenny Thrifty Reads.
I might. There's
So
a lot of Jens and Jennifers.
apparently.
And honestly, I'm like, I may know their first name, but I won't know their username, but I'll know their face and I'll know their name. And like, we could have had many conversations. My brain just, the usernames start to get all, because there's a bunch of book nooks and
Right.
all that stuff. And so it's like, very possible. Very possible.
So she's currently passing 1,800 books.
Oh, jealous. One
Yeah.
day.
And
One day.
she
Don't tell my husband.
thrifts them. If you want to thrift a book, she is the person that you need to talk to.
Mm. I love a good deal, but I'm very particular about like the condition of my books. If I get something from like Amazon, it better come in pristine condition because I'm gonna send it back. I'm gonna send it back for them to replace it.
You already answered my last question I was going to ask you, but let's go ahead and have some fun. So I asked book talkers who are on here, I asked all the authors who are on here, and I have a 50-50 response on the question. And you probably follow Erin Reads.
Mm-hmm.
So
I actually chatted with her yesterday. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
You two are going to the same place, right? I think she's going to it.
I don't know. I don't know if she's going to Rebels and Rounds, but I was chatting with her because she's reading 9 years after. I think it's part of her 9 years after Ages of Prayer. I think it's part of her August reads, if I'm not mistaken. I think is what she said. So
is she? I don't know. She's going to a book.
She's going somewhere because I know she was talking to somebody she was meeting there. I don't know if it's Rebels and Realms, but if it is, I can't wait to meet her in person. That'd be pretty cool.
I gotta ask her when she's on live later on, if she goes on live later on. So do you crack your spines or do you not? Wow, that's quick. Immediately no.
It sends chills down my spine. My husband will joke. He'll walk in here and he's like, "Which book am I?" I'm like, "Don't touch them. Stop." Like, immediately stresses me out. And like, I have my, well, actually, this one that's fine. My Akawar. I accidentally cracked the spine of my Akawar, but this is my annotation copy. So these are going to be a little bit more worn. And this is my 5th read through, of like the ACOTAR series. But fourth full read through, book 1 I've read 5 times. Not including like going back and annotating. That's a whole nother read because some of it I'm doing it in the moment and some I have to go back because I do it in pencil and then I go back and do it with my colored pens and such. I'm very particular on certain things. I'm very type A with my books. Type B everywhere else.
So she's the one that really, and I tell everybody, she is the one that if you want to go into dark romance and stuff, she is the one that you want to talk to. She'll give you she's a big indie author, supporter, huge.
Yeah.
Well, the next time you're on her live, I don't know if you saw her Hunting and Haunting Adeline books yet.
I don't think so.
I am surprised how those pages are still in the book. It's her favorite book, other than another one I saw that she pulled out.
And then she showed me her tattoo. So I knew that she was a big fan.
Oh, huge fan. So if she does go on live and you happen to see her, ask her to pull out that book and she'll show you the cracks on her spine. She has like 6 or 7 cracks on the spine because she loves the book so much. And I've gone from like, hurting the book to like, all right, if you love a book so much, I understand.
Yeah, I don't like writing in books, but if I will if I have a clean copy and an annotation copy. Like I have to have both.
I mean, you need one that's a trophy, you have one that's a daily reader, and then you have one to annotate and tap.
Yeah, I mean, like I have five full sets of ACOTAR. Two of them are 2 different acrylics. Like one's the 3D acrylics, the other one is the Dreamers. It's the non 3D one. I can't remember which one it's called. And then I have the paper, like a full set of the paperback, full set of the regular hardback. It's 4, and then I have like the Night Court edition. Do what?
Night Court, black one.
Yep, the Night Court edition. Yeah, that came out the day before my birthday, which was also the day I was getting like the second part of my leg tattoo done, and I was at their doors because my tattoo appointment is at 10 a.m. I walked through their doors at 9:30 when they opened, just grabbed one of each, walked to the checkout because I had gotten a birthday gift card to Barnes & Noble, and then I had gotten an appreciation gift from work that was a gift card, and then I think out of pocket I paid like $5 for the entire set. I was like, tell me there's any other better birthday present than a full set of books, full series for $5.
That is the greatest deal I've ever heard.
I'm telling you, I love a good deal. So I was like, I'm getting them all.
I mean, Jenny, she found, so 7 years, 7 years, something, or I don't know, I can't remember the name, but she found a sprayed edge book at Goodreads that book just came out the same day, and someone just left it there. Bought it, read the book, brought it to Goodwill, and she found the book.
Oh my gosh. The people that read their books and throw them away, have you seen that?
Yep. Yeah, I know.
The pain.
I'm like, if you don't want it, just give it to me.
Yeah, there's so many people who would want that. Like, and it's crazy because I was never the reader ever. Like, and it was more so out of like a rebellion thing because I had like undiagnosed ADD until I was like 23. So, we were just thriving and surviving. And I did find like a few series. Jillian Dodd was an author that I remember reading. I actually have a few of her books on my shelf. But I remember there was like multiple of her series that like I really loved as a teen. And so like I read those. I read The Duff, and those were like the books I remember like intentionally reading because I hated being told what I had to read. I hated it. Like, you tell me I have to read it, I'm like, I'm good.
Right.
Like, no, I'm good. You can keep that. But if I find something that actually like grabs my attention and pulls me in, I'll consume it and I'll reread it. Which I actually did wind up rereading the series I had read of hers, and obviously completely different. Had a completely different, I guess, viewpoint on everything that happened. One of them made me cry, and I was like, "What? How did we get here?" I was actually painting this room when I was listening because I wound up listening to it, and I was like, "Whoa!" Just why? Like it shocked me. But yeah. So my love for like physical copies just came with a fury, to say the least. It came in heavy on that one.
I mean, yeah. Now I have like stacks of books over here. Oh, there is. You said that your husband got into dark romance. Here's one that I would recommend if he's. Are you like Disney family? Do you like Disney? Do you like watching? Like,
Yeah, he's done the Nikki St. Crow, Lost
Vicious
Boys.
Last Boys.
Yeah, Vicious Lost Boys. Is that what you're about to hold up?
Yeah.
Yeah, he enjoyed it a lot. He's done those. Yeah, he loves it. I was gonna get him a set to go with his because like in my office he has like a section over in the corner, and so I have a
little section for him.
Little section. So I have the Hunting and Haunting Adeline that that was in my section, but because he's read it, I was like, I'm gonna put it in his section. That way, like, you know, his trophies. So but I was gonna get him a set to put over there. I didn't realize until like I was like holding them in person. I was like, dang, these are not like, my brain was telling me they were like as thick as Hunting and Haunting for some reason, but like they're like those good, quick, like just enjoyment reads. Yeah, that's what he's excited about it.
Is it the Never Queen?
I think so.
Yeah. So that's on my list to buy. And there's Wicked, West of Wicked. Yeah,
that's I actually just saw that earlier. I've seen it a bunch, but like I didn't connect the two for some reason. Sometimes my brain's a little slow to connect certain things because for the longest time I didn't really like pay attention to who wrote what. I just like consumed. Like I had read 2 Rebecca Yarros books before I ever read Fourth Wing and had no idea until after I read Fourth Wing. I was like, oh, I've already read 2 of her books. I had no idea because I didn't care to know who wrote it. I just wanted to read a good book. I wanted a book that like grabbed me and pulled me in, and like there's nothing better than having a book that does that. You know what I mean? So it's like it took Fourth Wing for me to go, okay, well, who is this? Do they have more? And then I was like, oh yeah, they've got more. Obviously contemporary, but still just as good. The Things We Leave Unfinished was one that like really hooked me and held me in, and was by the end of it, like I remember I was doing yard work when I was listening to it, and my jaw was like on the floor. I was like, no way. I cried in it. Oh, it's so good. So good. Rebecca can make me cry.
Did you read The Last Letter?
I have not. I own the paperback and then the little special edition. Oh, it's up here. I was supposed to buddy read it, but my buddy wound up reading it very quickly and there was no hope to catch up. So I have kind of held off because I also know that it's going to just emotionally destroy me. Yep. So I was like, I need to be in a good headspace.
I started reading it. I didn't finish it, so I gave it away. And then I'm like, what? Why is everybody like literally like breaking?
Yeah.
And my supervisor, we talk about books a lot. She told me what happened. She's like, do you care if I tell you? I'm like, yeah, I'm not going to read it. I'm not going to pick it up. I gave it away. She's like, all right. So she told me what happened. And I'm like, I didn't know what to say. I'm like, okay.
I kind of have a feeling I know like what happens. But there's like even like calling like where a plot line's going to go. It's like always like what happens between point A and point B. Mm-hmm. That like I may know what's going to happen, but it's probably still going to hit me harder than I thought it would, you know. Mm-hmm. Especially with the way that I've seen people crying. I'm like, oh, yep, I'm gonna be a mess for sure.
Yeah, you gotta be in the right headspace to read that book.
Yeah,
See, this is what happens when I go off a tangent.
it's okay. It's okay because it made me think of one of my readers. She finished 8 days prior, and I had already written the prologue for Seven Forgotten Sins, which is book 3. And she told me that well, one, when she finished it, I actually was driving back from Tennessee, and so I couldn't jump into the Discord video chat. And she was like, "It's a good thing you didn't." And I was like, "Why?" And she goes, "Because I was pissed. Like, she was crying, she was cussing at me, she was mad. Like, but like she loved it. There was so many emotions she was feeling because she's not a crier. Like, she's like, books don't make me cry." And she was like sobbing, and I was like, "Oh, I guess it is good I didn't join." She goes, "Yeah." She was like, she's like, "Poor Ashton. He sat there and he just listened." Because
Yeah.
like she was feeling everything. And then I told her the song I always have a playlist.
Mhm.
And so the very first song that goes with the prologue for Seven Forgotten Sins is Frank Sinatra. And I told her that, like, listen to the song once you're in a better mental space. And so she listened to it, and it like immediately made her cry because she knew it was coming. And then when she actually read the scene, she's actually an alpha reader this go around. She sent me a picture, and she has a tear going down her face. And I was like, "What chapter?" And she goes, "The prologue." I was like, "Oh."
You're just making people cry left and right, aren't you?
I tend to lean very heavily on like emotion, really heavily on like the way that the character feels physically, because like, with emotions, it's not just like in your head. Like, it's very much a visceral thing. And so I lean very heavily into that and try to portray the way that character's feeling. And so if you've ever felt that way, like, you start to kind of like tense up. And actually, another one of my readers, she arc read it, and she said, "Is it this anxiety ridden the entire time?" Because I woke up sore, because she said she was tense the entire time she was reading it, because it's very like, there's a lot of action in the second book, as far as like things that are just back to back happening. And she was like, "I had to like stop reading for a second and like drop my shoulders," because it was like she was like tense. And I was like, "Thank you for the compliment." Like, like it's one of those, again, non-compliment compliments. And I was like, "Dang, okay." And then, yeah, it's very heavy. Book 3 is a lot heavier, but it's all everything's interwoven.
Right.
It's a web. It's a web. Easter eggs everywhere, starting on the very first page in the first book.
That's wow. Wow. All right. So let's start from the beginning.
All right.
When did you want to be an author? Like, what inspired you to write?
Well, August of 2024, I like sitting in my kitchen, I was like, man, I was looking for a plot line. I love Mafia. Mafia is like my just guilty pleasure. And so I was sitting there, and I was consuming Mafia, consuming. Could not find the plot line that like I was like internally searching for. And there were certain tropes that I wanted at the same time, and just could not find the book that was giving it to me. And so I sat down, and I was like, I'm just going to write one myself. Did I think I was going to get to this point? No. Am I glad I did? Yes. I never thought I'd be an author ever. I was very much just a reader, and I started reading heavily after I had my second child, which is my second and last. I had PPD with my first, and so I was terrified to have it with my second one. And so I very, like, during the late night meetings and such, I very much read. I read so many books. Oh my gosh. But I wound up just searching for a plot line, couldn't find it, and I was like, I'm gonna do it myself. And 9 years after, the original title was actually 9 years later, but it didn't sound right with the titles I came up with once that for one book split into 9. So anytime that somebody says 9 years later, I never correct them because technically they're not wrong. It was that at one point. So yeah, one book turned into 9, which has since expanded into 3 series under this pen name, and then a whole nother series with the same amount of books that are in these 3 series in that series, and then a spinoff. And so there's so many things happening with it. But yeah, I never thought I was going to be never thought I'd be an author because I didn't think I was capable of it, which is very much the reason behind the dedication page, because it says, to those who were made to feel they aren't capable, prove them wrong. And then book two's dedication is, now that you've proved them wrong, you carry it. I forgot how I have it worded. Because I was like struggling between like 3 different ones on like which one I was going to go with. Right. Let's see. Because it was the same words, just in different, said it in different ways. And I was like, maybe I should write these down. You prove them wrong. Now you carry what remains and learn to live with it. Which is, I mean, to me, just becoming who you are and like owning it and still remembering who you were and what made you who you were, acknowledging it, but carrying it with you. Which my characters, there's a lot of that in them as well. So yeah, long answer short. I didn't think I was ever going to be an author, but I'm very glad that I followed through and became the, like, what is it, 1%, 3%, or something like that, of people who actually finish and publish, which is an insane thing to think, like, knowing how many people there are out in the world and then how many people actually publish that book. It's just, anytime somebody tells me that they just published their first book, I get so excited. Like, fellow indie author comes in and is like, oh, my book's coming out. I'm like, oh my God, I'm so proud of you. Because it's a great feeling. It's a big sense of accomplishment for sure. Oops.
And it is like, now you're an author. Now you got 2 books out. You got 6 more to go. 6 more to go.
7. Wait, yes, 7. I'm writing one of them. So 6 after the one I'm currently writing for this series. But yeah, and all of my series are connected.
Right.
Like, there's a crossover.
Are you going to do like little novellas in between them? Or?
No, I have them all planned out. So another thing that that I'm doing with multiple authors as well is like, characters from their series will appear in my series, and
crossovers.
Yeah, so there'll be crossovers, and it's not just crossovers within my series, like my stuff. It's crossovers with other authors, because I don't know why people don't do it more often. Like, I kind of get it, but kind of don't. Like, it's just a great way to, in my opinion, to like help each other, like market for each other. Because I'm huge. I'll wind up talking about other people's books a lot of the time instead of mine. If I'm not careful, like I'll be like, you should read this one. You should read this one because I love this and love that. But yeah. So it'll be like, if you want to see more of these characters, go read this series by this author. And so, like, it's a lot of fun. And there's actually one that we were discussing yesterday. One of our crossovers that's going to happen for Blackwater Harbor series and then the Carter Ranch series. So we were like, one's a main coastal romance, the other one's a West Texas cowboy romance, but they have a crossover in them. And so we were talking about that, and I was like really excited about it. So I love plotting out stuff.
That's awesome. Like crossovers. 9 books, 10 books. So when you wrote your first chapter, obviously you had to like read it to your husband. What did he think about
So,
the first?
so I actually read. So we had a girl that lived with us. I worked with her, but she's 19 and just like went to get out of her mom's house, and my husband's gone half the year, and I was like, I would love somebody to chat with in the night. And so she lived with us for about a year. I actually didn't tell my husband that I was writing anything for a couple months.
Really?
Yeah, because he wasn't a reader, and like I was like nervous about it, and so he was actually he was a little hurt that I didn't tell him, but I was like sorry, like I didn't know that it was gonna be like, I didn't know I was gonna get to this point, because you know, ADD, we hobby, and I didn't want to like be like, oh, I'm gonna do this and then not stick to it. So like,
Fair. Yeah, yeah.
I didn't know, and then here we are, you know. So, but he wound up getting to read book 1 at its rawest form, and then obviously at its completed edited form, because the first chapter, from just brain dump to edited, very different. Writing the very first manuscript for 9 years after was rough. It was so rough. Because I mean, it took probably the first 10 chapters for me to find my voice, and so it was a mess, a whole mess. The first chapter, starting out, awful, so many errors. There was past tense, present tense. There was third person moments. I was like, what is going on? Didn't sound like me. And then edited, it's very different. My alpha reader, Wim, she read it at its rawest form. And I mean, like from the start, rawest form. And then when she reread it in beta form, because I didn't give her the ending of book 1, or book 2, she had to actually read it in full again to get the ending. But when she reread it, she was like, I feel like I'm reading a whole new book. Because it was just, my voice developed in the midst of it. And then so I had to go back and rewrite the beginning in my voice. And so anytime that somebody's telling me they're like, I want to write, but I don't know what to do, I'm like, just get it out. Dump it. Like, get it on paper. Don't worry about there's a reason there are editors. There are reasons for everything. Get it out first. Go back later. Just get it out. Dump it. Like, because if you dump it, then everything gets to flow. And so it's a whole thing.
Wow. So were the characters different? Was the whole story different? Or did you kind of keep some of the original?
So everything's the same, except I changed how one of the tropes is introduced. And so the contract marriage, I changed how that's introduced, because as much as I love a contract marriage, like that's one of my guilty pleasure tropes. Like, give me. Because with that, then you have the forced proximity and things like of that nature. And so I wanted it to like come across a little different, because Maeve is very independent and very strong, and Callum knows that and wants her to be her own person. He just wants her to be her own person by his side. Like, right. And so, have you read it yet?
I have not.
Okay. I don't want to spoil too much. But like, instead of it being like, he gives her choice, and he actually doesn't tell her about it. And so it changed how it's introduced. And then it winds up getting like put into the mix of the other lies and betrayals and things that are like surfacing in the midst of this. And so, you know, it's very different from how I originally wrote it. So I actually had to go back and completely rewrite multiple scenes and dialogue because I changed it. But I'm very glad I did. Like in the moment, I was like, oh my gosh, I've got to rewrite all this. But then like once I did it, I was very glad that I switched gears and went with what I went with. So yeah.
Can't wait to read it. Can't wait to get book 1 and book 2. I usually just do back-to-back reads if it's like 2 books out. I did it with Fourth Ring and Iron Fist, one back-to-back.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Book 2, then like this is not the end of their story because the entire series is technically surrounded. Like it's they're at the center of the entire series, but we get back to their POVs in the final book. So it's not the end of like hearing from those characters, but there's a lot that's going to happen between this book and the final book. So there actually going to be a lot. There's going to sound a bit more, not jaded per se, but a little bit, a lot more life experience, to say the least.
When editing, well, doing all the edits, was that like your favorite part to do, or you're just like, just get through this? And then how many times did you edit and say, all right, that's enough, I'm done?
So, I have a system that I that I do to keep myself from being overwhelmed. My edits like this with the second book were much different because I knew what I was doing the second go round, so there were a lot less red. There's a lot less red ink. So like anytime that and I love my editor, she's the sweetest person ever. Christina, she was not my first editor, but she is my current editor, and I plan on having her as my editor for as long as she'll have me. But I always go through and I do like I always approve like the grammatical stuff. So like if I misspelled a word, if there's a comma that needs to be added, a period, question, all that, I go through and I approve those first, and then I go back and I do the developmental stuff. And about like probably a quarter of the time that something is marked as like, is this supposed to be like this? Or is this, is there is this a bigger picture moment? A quarter of the time it's a bigger picture moment. She picked up on an Easter egg that I dropped in there. And because she's looking at it and borderline dissecting it, because she is my line and developmental editor, I have to be like, that's going to come back around later. Like, I said it this way for a reason. And so I've had people who are not big rereaders. I've been through it like 4 times already, searching for the Easter eggs, because there are a lot, and I mean a lot, and certain things I say or numbers that I drop in there, sometimes you have to add the numbers together to get the number that actually helps you associate it with a certain character. And so there's a lot of things that go into it that I get like not chewed out about, but like they're like, I'm gonna have to go through this again because I'll drop like another hint here and hint there, and they're like, dang it, I didn't get that. So
I mean, you could probably just read the book without even reading the book at this point.
Oh my gosh, it's a lot of fun. I enjoy the web of sorts. Book 3 is going to be probably the most intricate of this series, because of everything that's being woven right now, at least in this part of the time frame. So I'm really excited to see how that comes out, because it's a lot right now.
Would you say book 3 is going to be like the heaviest book, or is there going to be more heavier stuff coming down the line?
I would say book 3 and 4 are probably going to be like the heaviest as far as like emotional toll goes. Well, I'll say that Oren's book is going to be a little tough too. Honestly, they're all going to have like their moments. It's just like Maeve and Callum are 24 and 25, and then book 3, we jump to Aisling, which is Callum's mom. She's in her 50s. And then Imogen is Maeve's mom, and she's book 4. And if Maeve's mom is in book 1 is, she talks about how her mom's no longer with them. And so like we're getting a totally different type of perspective from Imogen. And so we're getting, what happened prior to, instead of like what's going on in their present. So, and then that's also like that whole thing has actually shifted gears a little bit too. So there's a lot of things happening in that book.
You are going to have fun with your readers.
Yeah, I enjoy talking about it with them too, because I love to know like what theories they have, because there's a lot of them. And the most hated character is Nessa, which, funny enough, actually have the sticker right here. There's a scene, there's flashback, because I have flashbacks in my book too. It's probably gonna be backwards, but it's a sticker from a scene in book 1. So it's one of the stickers you get like with the convention or in-person signing copies. But Nessa is a very unliked character, which is very understandable, because what she does is very unforgivable, completely unforgivable.
She'll be like one of those characters that you love just to hate.
She's gonna be like a Jack Barlow. It's just
Jack Barlow.
Oh my gosh, me too. Like you can't get rid of him, man. Like he just he's a little pest. Like he just keeps popping up.
Like, didn't I just get rid of you?
It's like I swear is this deja vu? Deja vu? The Mandela effect.
Right.
He's the epitome of a Mandela effect.
Now, with these books now are not just like regular books that people are selling. They now have sprayed edges, foil covers, and everything else. Are you planning to have something like that with your series? Because I've seen, you did mention that each person has like a tattoo. It shows them tattoos. So if you did have a whole like collection series, with these sprayed edges like form into like a tattoo, or what's your thoughts about that?
I plan on doing something at some point. I just like, with the way that special editions have kind of turned into, like I want them to actually be like special. And so, it may be a few years before that actually happens, because like I want them to be a whole, like I want them to be a thing. Like you can't get them just because I decided to do it on like a random Thursday. I want it to be where everything's complete and fully thought through, and I've got because I want the entire plot, I want everything written out, because then at that point, like I actually have full option, like all of my options laid out on the table. I have so many things I can pick from and individualize, and because once I've published it, I mean that's it. There's no me going back and changing a detail. Right. But like, as I'm a sucker for a sprayed edge, so don't get me wrong. I do love a sprayed edge. I'm gonna get it. It's just like with mine, it's being indie, it's all self-funded, and so like I don't want to have to, I don't want to like feel like I'm penny pinching people, if that makes sense. Like having so many different versions of things, and like because I mean some people only have so much space for books, and I want it to be like if they love my series enough, they want the whole set, and they want it everything. And so instead of it being like, oh well, like here's this version, but like I only have one book in this version, now here's another version with these 2 books, and I want it to be like just a full set, and be like unique and special in its own thing. So
right. All right, fair enough. I mean, those covers are fantastic, by the way. Which you showed
Thank
me.
you.
Do you have the first one? You showed me the second one, but do you have the first book with you?
I do. Oh, I have my. Oh wait, hold on. Because the one I have on my desk is my proof copy, so it's got a line through the middle. But luckily, I have a stack right here. 9 years after.
That is beautiful.
Thank you. So this one was done by my tattoo artist, the one that did my leg piece, that's on my TikTok page. But my tattoo artist actually, it was during, and I mentioned it to her during our second session, and then a third session, I was like, hey, so like, remember we were chatting, like, would you be interested? And she's like, yeah. Like, so she actually created Maeve's back piece, brought my vision to life, which is why she's my tattoo artist, because I can only go, here's like the like inspo, here's a vague description of like what I'm feeling, and she just boom makes it happen. And so like I knew that she was going to be able to bring it to life, and unfortunately she wasn't able to do my second cover, but I did have another tattoo artist do book two's cover, and he did a phenomenal job. Lex Loves Lit. Her husband, Lex, was in my live listening, and she heard me like talking about like how, I don't know what I'm gonna do about my cover because my artist couldn't do it. And she spoke with her husband. She's like, she said that she looked at him and was like, hey, before I say something, would you be interested in doing something like this? And he was like, yeah. Like, so they both actually wound up coming in. His TikTok is Smudge Ink. And I have it on my copyright page, but he's out of Denver, Colorado. Smudge Ink, and he like specializes in like fine line work, and he does a phenomenal job too. And so he actually he did this cover. He did a great job, and I'm so grateful that he was able to like take the time to create this for me, because I absolutely love it. And having them, back to back is just it's just it's so cool to see them side by side. But yeah, it's
they're beautiful books.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I feel like tattoos tell their own story, and so having it written and seeing it are, obviously two totally different things, because everybody's going to interpret it differently. But like seeing it actually in a form is just, I love it.
Yeah, I love that you say that tattoos tells their own story. Does your tattoo tell your own story?
Yeah. I have a tattoo that says serendipity, and it's, finding something beautiful without looking for it. And then I always say it wrong, but this is like a symbol for your life journey. And so you like customize it. And so you've got, twists and turns. And then these 3 loops are my 3 sisters, and then more, twists and turns. And then down here, you can do like most people do like 1 dot. I did an ellipse because I just feel like you have more than one destination in life. I mean, you go through so many phases, and so like, and did that. I have one for my grandfather. I have one for my best friend. I have another one for another best friend, and our series together. And then my pinup girl. Oh, then I have a pinup girl up here who's like, she's shedding her clothes, and then in the midst, it's revealing her skeleton, and it's her skeleton's cracked, and so it's like the sticks and stones may break my bones. That's my interpretation. My forearm piece is I always try to say, my brain tries to say what everybody else tells me, the Lilith of the Valley, Lily of the Valley, or something like that, but I always call it a snapdragon. Whenever the petals fall off, they leave behind like these fairy skull looking pieces. And so I told my artist at the time, I was like, hey, like, can you do this, but like make them a little less creepy? Because if the real ones look very creepy, if you actually look at it, they freak me out a little bit. But and it's just like, even in death, there's still beauty in it. And it's not always like the physical, it's the spirit of kind of moment. So a little on all of them. And then Be Lilith, Never Eve is another one that I have, and it's like, you don't have to sit back and not do things for yourself. It's, you can absolutely do things for yourself and it'd be okay. So yeah, all of them have their own little story and whatnot.
Wow.
And so, yeah,
That's really beautiful.
thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. So 2 books coming out, working on the 3rd, and down the line. Audiobook. Do you have an audiobook planned? And like I said before, you do have a great voice to do, voice narration. Would you be doing a character from the book?
I do have audiobooks planned in the future. I picked out narrators as well. And then if I could do an Irish accent, I would do one of the characters. For this series in particular, I'm sticking to having other narrators do it because I have a certain vision for it. And so like Maeve and Callum, Ronan, Aaron, are going to have like a very American Irish accent because everybody on their estate, their parents, they're all from Ireland. And so their accents are very heavy. And so whenever we go into Ashling's book, the accents are heavier because we're getting it from their perspective. I can't hold an Irish accent as much as like the southern accent and Irish accent actually kind of cross over. It's kind of funny. Like we don't say the G on anything with an ing. So it would kind of be easy for certain bits, and then there's others where just the accent would be totally lost. I do plan on doing some narration. I have a few people who want me to do certain characters for their stories, and then I was like, I could do one of the ones for my cowboy series because obviously Southern's gonna, a little tweak here and there on like the area, but I do plan on doing some of my books, just not this series in particular, for sure.
Okay. I would, hear me out. I would start off with you reading the dedication in the audio, and then
Yeah,
the rest of them just do the
that's not a
character.
bad idea. That is not a bad idea at all. I like that. I like that a lot, actually. You got me. You give me something to think about for sure.
There you go. See,
Yeah, I like that idea.
I aim to please.
I appreciate it because now I'm going to write that down.
Yeah.
I love that.
Books are becoming movies, more prominent, and TV shows now. Not like in the past, but now they're more prominent because now you got the off campus. You got a couple of Frida McFadden books becoming into movies. And Stephen King has been making movies for like years. So,
Yeah.
If your books were made into a movie or a TV show, do you have any actors that you would like to play the main characters?
Oh, what's his name? Tom Hardy, I think would play a great Tig.
Mm-hmm.
Which Tig is a character who, and as much as I love his character because his character is very very funny, unhinged, and like also very endearing, he is not in the books as much because he is no longer with the characters. But what's this? There's another guy. It's so hard for me with these characters because they're so.
What about Cillian Murphy?
Is that with a C or an S?
With a C. He started Oppenheimer and Peaky Blinders, I think.
Oh. I feel like he very much fits a young young Cormac Collins, which is Maeve's dad. He very much. I don't know why I didn't realize his first name was Cillian. Yeah, I love Peaky Blinders. Thomas Shelby. Yeah. He very much fits the younger Cormac Collins. The CC has my brain like flipping them. But yeah, no, I love his character.
Yeah, my favorite part from that show is no fucking fighting when he's in the kitchen yelling at everybody and then hits somebody at the last part.
Yeah, and then they just started taking people out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think although I feel like Tom Hardy could also play well. I feel like Finn Cole from Peaky Blinders could play a good Ronin. I just feel like he wouldn't be tall enough to fit the character's like description. But like as far as like looks and demeanor goes, I feel like he'd be a good fit for Ronin.
What about Jason Statham?
Jason Statham would be more of like a Kean enforcer role kind of thing.
Yeah.
As far as like physical goes, very much like Kean or Owen. I could see that. I could definitely see that.
What about your FNC? Who could play the FNC?
Oh man. There was, I cannot remember her name. There was one, I was actually looking this up one day because somebody asked me that question and I was like, good question. And then I feel like I just couldn't find the right, like, one person. It was like a mixture that I had in my head. I feel like, because I think it was like the younger version of that character, like the way that they looked when they were younger. I feel like fit best. Ooh, what is her name? Because Saoirse is very, very like spunky. Like she's quick with it, and I feel like there just needs to be a certain like attitude that comes with that. Like I can't have a what's her name? The one that did that just recently did McFadden. I can't have a Sweeney. I heard that demeanor is just not gonna fit. It can't be like a Kristen Stewart. Like I need more emotional. Margot Robbie. I could see her. I could see her playing Imogen. Like a younger Imogen. I could for sure see that. But I don't know what Margot looks like with red hair because Imogen's very, and that's another thing with red hair. I feel like you can't just stick that on anybody. It's a very like, you know what I mean?
She had partly red hair in Suicide Squad, but
not like red. I'm talking like that natural orangey red, strawberry blonde level. Which I mean, I guess with her being blonde, it's not a far stretch, so I could see it. But I almost feel like, yeah, definitely, yeah. Looking at Margot right now, for sure she'd be like, I could see her as like an Imogen, for sure, an Imogen. And then I don't know, with Maeve, she's got a lot of like, I need a FMC, like the female role to be like very expressive and like, but also be able to like shut it off like on a dime, because it's like you like see the physical walls go up with Maeve, and so it's it's always a hard question for me because I'm like, I don't know. I just don't know.
How about the one who was playing against Sydney Sweeney in the Housemaid? What's her name?
Oh, God, what's her name? I know who you're talking about. I just saw her picture because she played in Jennifer's Body.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I actually feel like she'd play a good Nessa. Crazy enough. Yeah, I could see her playing Nessa because she has that like she can turn on that like very eerie like like I could see that. I could see that for sure. I feel like she could play Nessa.
So we're still on the hunt to find who could play the perfect FMC.
Yeah.
Hopefully, no, someone might pop up. Like this is her.
Yeah. And I feel like it's going to be like that moment of like someone who is just like newer, maybe to the scene of like as far as like big picture goes. I just feel like it'd probably might be somebody newer.
Right.
And being indie, it'd be like, I'll give him a shot, you know.
All right. Well, so last question before we end this, because I already asked my last question at the beginning. So here's another one. So when you're not writing, not taking care of the little kids, you have time for yourself. What is your setup to read a book? And which book are you aiming for? Do you have a blanket? Do you have like your favorite drink next to you, a snack? What's the whole vibe?
Typically I am probably curled up I say curled up. I'm laying probably sideways in the bed, e-reading on my phone. My drink, it's probably going to be a water or a Dr. Pepper Zero. Those are my favorite. The strawberries and cream are the best ones. On the nightstand. And then I'm probably just like, just reading on my phone. So yeah, because that's just like the most comfortable place to be. In my like reading, just sideways. Yeah, in my bed. My bed's like my spot to read. But yeah, that would probably be that water or Dr. Pepper Zero, and then in my bed reading. And then it's most likely Mafia. Most of the time, it's Mafia.
Mafia.
Mafia. Do what?
Not too unhinged. Nothing too unhinged.
I don't know. Depends on who I'm reading because there's a reason I tell people mine like gets more unhinged as you read it because I kind of like gradually bring you into the unhingedness, and then book 2 is kind of just stays in that, and then book 3 is like a mixture, because it slowly gets spicier, slowly gets darker as far as like the content goes. Book 2 is very plot heavy. There's very little spice. And I would like to say that all of it's very plot driven. So like you could pluck the spice out and everything still be there. Because I love when the plot's plotting. The spice is just extra, you know? But yeah, I don't know. I feel like it's been a while since I've read anything that's like truly dark. As far as like what's like mafia in the mafia realm of like descriptions, like, you know, talking about it like, oh yeah, you know, beats me up. No, like some of my stuff gets quite detailed, and so like my brain is like in that realm of things, and so I'm like, I don't know, how long has it been since I read something like that? So I don't know. I feel like I need to broaden my horizons a little bit more. Read some more like thrillers or something.
Hey, if you need thrillers, let me know because I have almost all the library of Frida.
Yeah.
one of those. Like I like to read my Fridas, and then I stack them, like which is the best, like which is the worst I've read.
Yeah, whereas
So
so I've only read the Handmaid, no, the Housemaid.
Housemaid.
Yeah,
Okay.
I read it and watched it in the same day because I refused to watch it without reading it, but I was going with a group of friends. So
I mean, it's a quick book to get through, so
yeah. Have you watched it?
I have, and it was 90% there. My gripe about it is that they really cut off Enzo so much out of the
I
movie.
was so upset about that. Like, how
Yeah,
are they going to carry on book 2 without
exactly.
like
This Enzo is a big part of book 2.
huge, huge? And then, which I kind of soft DNF book 2 because it just wasn't grabbing me the same. But one of the things I heavily feel like that's definitely a book and movie you need to read first before seeing it because the plates or the books. I don't want to spoil it for anybody, but the book scene is not going to be nearly as there's the gravity of it's not going to be nearly as much if you watch and then read. So
Yeah.
I thought
Yep.
that was like I was like, dang, okay. But it is a movie, so like I understand they gotta Hollywood it up and make it more dramatic, essentially. But I do like the plates. I did like the
Yeah.
plates. That was
Yeah.
that was a good touch. I was like, okay, I can deal with that. I can deal with the swap. But yeah, definitely that's one that I very heavily feel like you have to read it first for the book
Yes.
to be as like for the book to have the weight that it needs to have to like for it not to be like, well, what was that in
Right.
comparison to the movie?
So,
And then of course the spicy montage.
right. You have to read Never Lie.
Never lie. Okay. I
Right?
have all of her stuff. All of her stuff's on my TBR. It's just my TBR is kind of scattered right now.
You have to read if you want a break from like you have to read that one. It's one of her best books
Okay.
ever written. Um, personally. So that's like on the top of my It's Never Lie, then The Housemaid, then everything else. Um, two bottom ones are The Coworker,
Uh,
because it's just annoying about a damn turtle that shows up everywhere. I don't get it. And The Teacher, although it was well written, I hated the trope.
really?
Yeah. It was high school teacher and student relationship.
Oh,
I cannot know. Being married
yeah.
to
No,
David
that's
myself,
yeah. That one's yeah.
it is a hard pass. Right.
That's a hard one to like.
And funny enough, I'm reading Gothic Hannah,
Yeah.
right? And the FMC and the MMC is a student teacher. But
Okay.
yet, I like the book. The book is so good. But yet,
Yeah.
I hate the trope. And I
Is it the
don't know
same with
how old.
Gothicana? Like,
No. Well, with the trope, maybe, because I don't know how old the teacher is between the student and the teacher. You know that the teacher is an adult and the student, the girl is a high school student. And it tells
right,
you roughly how old she is.
right.
So,
Yeah. And like, I feel like when it comes to like the fantasy realm of things, it's like, okay, where's the cutoff? You know what I
yeah,
mean? Like, especially if it's like, I feel like once you like, I feel like when it comes to those kinds of tropes, I feel like they really need to like, if it's going to be a romance of any kind, it needs to be like bare minimum freshman in college,
yeah,
like bare minimum. because like that's a very, very thin line you're tightroping on when it comes to like what's okay and what's not okay. Even in writing, like that's a very thin line, and it's very easy to step on the wrong side or to lean the wrong way. And because like I love a good taboo romance. Like two of my favorite books, Older by Jennifer Hartman and Birthday Girl by Penelope Douglas. Both of those one of them is ex-boyfriend's dad, and the other one is best friend's dad. They both one of them, they're adults. She's just a younger adult. The other one, they meet when she's still 17. That I will say, nothing happens at all until she's like 19.
Right.
Like she like a few, like I think it's like a few months later with Older, like they realize who the other is, but nothing happened when they met, like at all. So it's like I had one of my friend's moms. She's like, I can't, which it makes sense because she's, a mom, like two older girls closer to that age. And then I'm, when I read it the first time, I was closer to the age of the FMC. So it's like, I understand the difference of like when in reading that, but I ate it up. I love a good taboo romance, but there's still like certain things that I'm like, ugh, like Little Stranger. I don't know if you've read that.
Mm-hmm.
Have you heard about it?
I have not.
Okay, Lee Rivers, she's indie. I love the book. It is very well written, and I highly suggest the audiobook. There's just the names they call each other because it's a
pet names.
So it's not even a pet name because they are foster siblings.
All right, no.
So it's if it'd be one thing, like it'd be one thing if they were just foster siblings and like it turned into, but it's the fact that they like you may want to like, I guess like maybe like mute the nickname out so it doesn't spoil for anybody, but like he says, or it's like your brother or my brother or your sister or my sister. I'm like, ew. Like it was one of those where like if those things weren't being said, it was fine. It really wasn't that bad. Like I thoroughly enjoyed it. But then the moment that they dropped the nickname, the names, I was like, ugh. Like had me like.
Yeah.
But when I tell you that the scene, there's a spider scene, which that's not a spoiler. There's a spider on the cover. But like the way that this scene is read is so diabolically good. Like it made me pause. I was doing the audiobook. I was cleaning. I paused what I was doing and I was like, just jaw to the floor. Like you get that eerie feeling. You're like, oh my gosh, like I can't, whoa, like fantastic work. And I want to say Joe Arden does that. I could be wrong. Yeah, Joe Arden, Little Stranger. He does a phenomenal job reading that book. And that's the spider scene. Top 5 favorite scenes of all time for an audiobook. Hands down, probably top 3 because it was so well done. Just perfection, truly.
All right, you might have, including your 2 books. Now I got to add that one on top. Ever since doing this, my TBR has grown so much. It's like, all right, when am I going to have time? I need to prioritize right. stuff. Okay, I need to prioritize stuff.
Yeah, my TBR list is going to the grave with me because it's extensive. Like it's never ending. And I actually, I don't know if you've ever like paid attention whenever you scroll into my live, it says full warning, your TBR will get longer. Like that is like what it says in the description. Whenever you roll into my live, it says your TBR will get longer, be it from my books or another one that I wound up talking about. Because when I love a book, I am going to tell you about it. Like, or if you ask me about like a recommendation, if it's not me telling you a recommendation, there is somebody in the spicy bunch that's going to have a list for you too. Like just, oops.
No.
It's so good.
All right. So I'll make sure not to listen. So I don't have, no, honestly, I'm going to listen to you a lot. My goodness. But it's been super fun hearing about your book and hearing about your favorite reads and hopefully the audiobook will be coming out soon, hopefully. But
yeah, hopefully in the next year. That's the plan. Hopefully by the end of 2027 for sure. That's the desire. Just gotta. A lot of people have been telling me to do like a Kickstarter, so I'm like, I don't know, maybe I'm terrible with like things like that. So
do it. Just
I know.
I would say just click the button and just go for it.
Yeah.
See what happens.
I think that's what I'm gonna wind up doing. It's like my brain's like, but like what if? And I'm like, and then just imposter syndrome, hush. Like
look, you thought you would never be an author. Now you got 2 books out and the third one on the way. So
this is true. Fair point.
But for everyone who is watching, if you want to tell them where they could buy your 2 books, where you're going to be at next to do your signing, and where they can follow you.
Yeah. So jc.mackie.author on TikTok, and then jc.mackie on Instagram. You can find my books on Amazon KU. You can get signed copies through me, through my link tree that's attached to both of those socials. I also have a Discord channel, for the Spicy Bunch that has like discussion, has like groups, like closed groups. So if you've read 9 Years After 8 Days Prior and you want to discuss with other readers who have also read them without spoiling it for everybody else, you can actually go in and like completely unfilter, just blah, everything, every thought, every question. And I promise you somebody's going to respond to you. And then I'll also respond mostly with just emojis, because that's my favorite thing to do, because it just be the eyes typically like, interesting. But yeah, so you can find me on those. I will be in Rogers, Arkansas this weekend, actually, the 16th through the 19th. Yeah, 16th through the 19th. But the event, I think, is like 17th and 18th. But Rogers, Arkansas for Rebels and Realms. And then every future event I will have posted on my socials as well, because it's kind of like there'll be little bookstores here and there throughout in between the conventions. But we're I go to the conventions with other authors. So Scotland Rain, I have to we kind of see if we can both make the convention, because we have like our joint series as well. So like we're gonna have our tables together, and then the piece in the middle will be our Clover and Jade section. So that way we all three of the series thing are there. But yeah, so any future event I will have on my socials and on my website as well. There's also extras on my website if you want to see text threads between characters, little diagrams, hints of sorts, and as well as the full series and their release dates are also on there as well. So
awesome. Pretty sure people are going to be, going onto your website and reading as well. Like, I need to know what's going on.
And some of them, some of the conversation threads are funny, and some are secret, hidden secrets in there. So little hints.
Keeping your readers to yourself. Just keep giving them left, right, all those Easter eggs. Okay.
Yeah. I love an interactive series, things that make you question. So yeah, thank you so much for having me on. I really appreciate it. I enjoyed it. Hopefully we'll get to do another one of these in the future and talk about the rest of the web.
Yeah, definitely. We are always welcome to come back and talk about more of the unhinged books that we have down the line.
Yeah, there's gonna be quite a few, so I'm excited.